Hello and welcome to another Bookmark Journals tutorial. We're glad that you're here. Today we want to talk about something very important which I think everybody can value from, and that is why we journal. Why we even take the time to write things down in the first place. And a lot of you, I'm guessing, probably don't journal very often in a very consistent way. And so the first thing we need to really tackle is, what are the common reasons why we don't keep a journal? Now, there's a lot of different reasons. I'll go over the most common ones here. So the first one is that we just don't have time. We don't have time to write in the journal. We're too busy. We got meals to cook. We got kids to put to bed. We got classes to go to. We got a lot of stuff that's going on. So we don't have a lot of time. And if we did, we wouldn't really know what to write. What are you going to write about? I mean, you got this journal. You're going to put stuff in it. You're not really sure. I mean, you've heard about the benefits of writing a journal, but you don't really know what to put. Or maybe you do. And maybe that's a concern because you don't want prying eyes to come and see what you have written down. And it's a concern, especially like what if you keep passwords, right? Or what if you're writing about really important information that's supposed to be private? So that's a concern. People don't really want to keep a journal because privacy concerns. And you don't know how. You don't know how to write things down or how to journal, where to start. How do you do it? You go to the journal store, you go to the bookstore, and there's so many different types of journals. You don't know where to start. You don't know how. Or maybe you're convinced yourself that your life is boring. Well, what am I going to write about? What kind of scrambled eggs I have every single morning? Well, that's a really page turner, right? Another common reasons is we just don't know where to start. Do I color code it? How many journals do I need? Which topics do I talk about? I just don't know. There's just so many places, so many questions on how to begin that it's so daunting sometimes we don't even try. Another common excuse is you're not sure what the point is. So you have a journal and you're writing in it, and maybe you take notes about how your day is or how things are going. And you do it for a couple days, and it just kind of peters out because you don't really know what the point is. What's the point? Why am I writing this? Or maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you started a bunch of journals but you stopped a bunch of journals too. And if you go in your closet or your bookshelf, you got a big stack of them, just a stack of journals, and you flip through them, and like there's some cool stuff in there that you've written, but at the same time, you don't really know. You just weren't able to sustain the energy or the passion to keep going. So you start and you stop, and then you get fired up again and you start again. Maybe you think your writing sucks. Maybe you have one of those journals and you went back and you looked at it and you read some of the stuff and you're kind of embarrassed on what's in there and maybe how goofy it sounds or how clumsy. You think your writing sucks. Or maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you're a really good writer and you just have so many things to write about and on. This is sometimes my problem well, all of these are my problem, but you just have so many things to write about that you get overwhelmed because, well, I need a journal. I need a different book for this topic and this topic and that topic and that topic and this. Well, I can't write in this one because this one's for that. And I can't write in that because this one's for this. And it's just becomes so overwhelming and you just give up completely. So these are some of the common reasons, and I bet you have harmonized with some of these reasons as I've gone through this. And I think really to really understand how journaling can help us and why we might consider journaling in the future is to really redefine exactly what journaling means. Because in the past, maybe it's meant a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of space, sort of thing. So a journal really is a tool. If you have a garage or a shop or a wood shop or an auto shop, you go in there and they have lots of different tools to get the job done, right? And each tool has a point. It has a place on the bench. And a journal, if used in a specific way, is also a very strong tool to accomplish and to complete some very important things in our life. It's a record. It's a record of where you've been. It's a record of what you've done, on what you've accomplished, your path, so to speak. It's your footsteps in a way of where you came from, which can be powerful. It's a reference point. Um, you know, where did you last leave off? Where did you stop last, and where do you need to pick up and go forward? Because you might not remember. Maybe the last time you're at the gym, which weight were you using, or when you're fleshing out a short story, you keep your notes in there and you don't really remember where you left off. Well, if you kept a journal about those things, you know where to begin again. It's a track sheet. It's a track sheet. It helps you to know kind of what you've already accomplished and what your to-dos have been, so you know just what you're actually doing when you move forward. So when you know what you've done, it helps to inspire you to keep going because you can look back at your track sheet, your accomplishments. And it's a memory. It's the funny thing your kids said, or it's what happened at grandma's birthday. It's their memories. They can be memories too. So it's also a reminder. Maybe you need to do something and you need to make sure that you don't forget. It's a progress report. So you can know, sorry, I got distracted. So you can know what you've done. It is a schedule. A lot of people like to use journals as schedules. So you can list where you need to be and what needs to get done. It's a plan of attack. If you know what you want, you can flesh out a plan and use it to help schedule out what you're going to be doing in the future. And it's also could be a calibration tool. You've heard of gratitude journals, things like that. If you're not in a very good place mentally, emotionally, you can go back and read some of the writings you've done in the past, and that will help you to calm down or whatever. It's a calibration to get you back where you need to be. And honestly, guys, it's really about your goals. It's about what's important to you, or what are you trying to accomplish in your life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you care about? And what are you interested in? And this is really important because when we move on to the next thing that we're going to talk about, I want to talk about the reasons to not journal, what journaling is not about. So you're not going to be an effective journaler if you're journaling because you feel you're supposed to. There's some sort of authority or person that's telling you that you're supposed to do it, right? It's their idea, and you need to follow the rules and do it. Journaling's not going to work for you if you're doing it simply because a family member does it or a friend does it, and you want to do what they do. If you're doing it for that reason, it's probably not going to work. If you're doing it solely so your children can read it for posterity reasons, sorry to say this to you, but it's not going to last unless you really care about that. But if you're doing it strictly so other people can read it, you probably won't be able to sustain the long passion you're going to need to be able to make journaling work for you. And of course, if you're recording mundane details of your life, how many steps you take, what kind of eggs you ate, how long your lunch break was, it's not going to mean anything, and it's not going to work. I mean, there's nothing to work. I mean, unless you're really, really passionate about the mundane details of your life. And honestly, journaling about anything that you're not really into, that you're not really interested in. Journaling is not about doing anything that you're not passionate about. So you might think, well, what should I write about, right? Now, I'm not going to here to tell you what you should write about, but there's a lot of things that people care about, and that's kind of common throughout. So maybe like you have kids, maybe you want to write down cool stories because they're funny and entertaining to you. Grandkids, maybe keep a dream journal. You have projects you're into, maybe you're a poet. Do you go to the gym? You can keep track of your reps and your sets and your rest intervals. And when you do those types of things, you can pick up where you left off, and you don't have to waste time trying to refigure out, oh, how much weight do I need, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you're a songwriter. Maybe you really like making songs, and a good way to flesh out your ideas is to write it down. short stories, short story prompts. Maybe you're a sketcher, or like to draw, or maybe you like to doodle. Inspirational quotes, if you got a collection of those. Or if you want to do a little bit more mental health, emotional health, you can have a gratitude journal for psychology reasons, for spiritual reasons, right? Maybe you listen to a really cool sermon, or you maybe go to you just hear something really inspiring that somebody says, and you just want to keep it down and just remember it. Maybe you go to conferences or seminars, and you just like to just take notes because it helps you to remember what they said, and you can use that information later. We talked about mental health. You know, there's lots of different ways journaling can help you with your mental health. You can track goals. Maybe you like to work out projects and woodworking plans inside of a journal, and you can keep those. And you know, it helps you when you take it to the hardware store. You know exactly what you need. You can organize art projects, or if you go to a lot of networking, you can keep everyone straight. Scheduling, business, work, school, seminars, clients, keep your clients straight, all kinds of stuff. Other reasons to journal is really to be more effective. You know what you like, and you want to move forward, and you're not going to be able to do it if you don't keep a record of where you've been and where you need to go. It helps you to be more goal oriented. Everybody's talking about, you know, living their best life and doing what they can. And if you're not regularly setting goals, chances are you're not going to accomplish very much. And keeping a journal will help you to be more goal oriented because you can review and look at it and work toward things. You can be more organized about your thoughts and about your plans. You're able to be more detailed about all the different specifics inside of what you're journaling about. And of course, you can be more reflective and you can ponder more deeply about your life and about people and what things mean and really gain strength from that. And really, to really sum it up, journaling is most effective when you're passionate about what you're writing about and also to know that what you're writing is helping you to move forward with what you're passionate about. And that you can look through your journal and you can see the progress that we've made through the past entries. There's a quote that I really like that your future self is looking back on you right now through the lens of a memory. What kind of memories are you going to make, you know? And I'm going to wrap this up here, you guys. And I really appreciate you hanging out and watching this. And I hope that I've inspired you a little bit to write and start a journal. Honestly, if you want to learn more, we got a website, bookmarkjournals.com. If you want to contact us, it's bookmarkjournals@gmail.com. And I really appreciate you. Just leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.